Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about Saturn going into Capricorn for all my Capricorn ascendants. Now, right now, you got the power. You got the power. Because anytime a house lord goes into the house that it rules, you have power and control over that house. So any woos and woes and bad experiences that you have, you better not blame nobody, because the moment you start that blame game, the moment you put yourself in a circumstance and situation where you are open to experience the same goddamn thing over and over again, because you have to take power and control over this goddamn house. Now, Saturn. Now, whatever house Saturn goes in, boom, it plays as a motherfucking bulldozer. So based upon degrees, you know what I'm saying, you may still have Saturn lingering around in your 12th house and things of that nature, based upon degrees and things of that nature in certain people's charts. So, you know, it didn't already tore down that house and rebuilt that house. So you basically kind of gain structure in your life based upon the 12th house. So right now you at the end stages. You probably cleaning up, wiping down windows, throwing out trash, you know, getting ready to go home. If you haven't been already home yet, based upon the degrees, because Saturn is going home when it goes into Capricorn, and guess what? That's your first house. So that's one of your homes. You know, the cardinal houses are your homes. You know, the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th, these are your homes. First house represents your personality. 4th house represents your how you gain emotional stability about it. You know what I'm saying? The 7th house is how you relate it to others. You see what I'm saying? And the 10th house is how it's known, how it's seen, and the career you could develop off of it, and the status. So you see what I'm saying? It's all revolves around your personality in general. But for the most part, you got the power. So you know you got. Now, what comes great power comes great responsibility. So the only thing you have to jump rope with is you have to learn how to not be too power and controlling over your own and other people's personalities, personal issues, and affairs. But at the same time, you got to know how to and learn how to not be too passive either, and not let too many lines be crossed, because you know better. So you can't go too far on each end, because each end can lead to a negative river fall. You see what I'm saying? So you got to create balance in your life with these two areas of life. So the better you know how to create balance, the better you should be alright personally. But let's talk about the general main theme of what's going on. Now, what Saturn represents in general, because Saturn rules Capricorn. So what is Capricorn? Capricorn is cardinal Earth, initiating and creating new ways of how to think and be practical, which ultimately is making sense out of things. Which Capricorns, since it's cardinal, it's the blueprint drawer. It draws out the blueprint. Taurus builds it. Virgo analyze it and make sure it's perfect and shaped enough for it could be a working and effective business flow of a building. So you know, Capricorn is like, that's why Capricorns may have boss mentalities, or they may be bossy, or they may look at people as employees and things of that nature, or they may look like they're always trying to attach their goals and perceive their status and things of that nature in certain ways, and always care about how they're seen and what they're known for, besides how people feel and things of that nature. So it's more business than personal and things of that. You see what I'm saying? But with Capricorns, in their mind, their business is personal. So a lot of times they blur that lines. So when you get too emotional, they'll sit there and tell you, look, man, it's all business. It ain't personal. But with these earth signs, what Capricorns fail to realize is y'all motherfuckers make y'all business personal. So just because y'all ain't emotional, y'all emotions is the shit y'all got. Y'all shit. So they won't say y'all motherfuckers hard. But you know, that's another video. We ain't here to talk about y'all. We here to talk about what's actually going on with y'all and y'all life energy. So, you know, Saturn and the first house represents your personality, personal issues, and affairs, which is personal people, places, and things in your life. As long as they step into the personal mechanism and they personally know you and you personally know of them or of it or of that thing or of that location, it's in your it's in your first house. So, what is Saturn? Saturn is Saturn is how one gains structure in their life, whether that's based upon a person, place, or thing, or a job, or whatever thing. It's actually how one sees reality in their life. So whatever sign and angle that they have to their Saturn, that's how one perceives reality, because Saturn controls this reality. And also, you know, it's where one places but also receives boundaries and restrictions and limits. So, you know, it likes being in Capricorn, but, you know, off the bat, Saturn falls in the first house, and Capricorn don't like to be in the first house. You see what I'm saying? In general, this is a square house to Capricorn in general, and to the planet Saturn itself. Saturn falls here because Saturn is exalted in the 7th house, and literally Saturn is exalted in Libra. So, you know, Saturn is asleep. So when you think about sleep, think about when you sleep. Sometimes you have nightmares, sometimes you have beautiful dreams, sometimes you have regular dreams, sometimes you don't dream at all. So it'll play out in your life when a planet is asleep, a planet is falling. It'll play out in your life as sometimes you being able to do things you never thought you was able to do before, and you just had to try it. Or it could play out as in you adding too much doubt to what you think you are capable of doing, to the point that you may necessarily can do it, but you didn't talk yourself out of doing it and things of that nature, based upon it seeming scary or not, or you not being able to resonate with it, or you not being able to feel comfortable with doing these things, because the planet that you have is in an uncomfortable area of its life. You see what I'm saying? So you will witness those energies. Now, this is what you need to understand for the most part, or overstand. You know, Saturn is like that in the first house. So a lot of times Saturn is like sleep. So when you sleep, it's like behind closed doors, or it's in the dark. When you close your eyes, it's in the dark. So a lot of times your personality may not be seen. Your personal issues may not be seen by choice, because you want to handle them yourself and you don't want to be seen as vulnerable. And when they do become chaotic, people can see it on you, and it make it hard for you to try to ask for help. But when you do, a lot of times it's when it's really meant for. You know what I'm saying? You're not just out here just asking for help for no reason. Also, when it comes into your personal issues and things of that nature, it may play out as in sometimes you are unaware how your personal affairs. You are unaware how your personal affairs are actually trying to understand you. A lot of times, you don't know if it's through emotions, expressions, or in thought or practicality, which is all the elements. But for the most part, it's like your personal affairs. You don't quite know how to connect unless it has something to do with firmness, bonds, or connecting in a material way, or having some type of shared goal together, or some type of shared structure in the thought together. It's something that y'all can build on something together. Other than that, it's going to seem lost and purposeless and not being useful, to the point that you may even look at certain family members as not family members because they're not helping you in your life in any kind of way. So Capricorns, try not to get that evil, Capricorn ascendants. But for the most part, yeah, Saturn is sleep. You know what I'm saying, coming here. But also it's knocking down everything of this house also. So you're going to find yourself having to restructure your personality in certain ways. Restructure your personal issues. So you have to go back to the drawing board and reformulate how you was handling personal issues different than you was before. And then your personal affairs. You're going to have to learn how to restructure your personal affairs. Learn how to recalculate your personal affairs. Reevaluate them. You know what I'm saying? And don't think about them and have them as a crutch or a stability like you had them before. Because if you have, that whole thing is going to get torn down, and you're going to have to find new ways to restructure that. So all that is getting torn down for Capricorn ascendants. Now, for the most part, you have to restructure this and to rebuild this house a lot faster, so you don't have to experience no storms coming without no roof, and everybody gets soaked in this house, aka you and all the beings within you. You know what I'm saying? You need to use the tools that you have. And the tools that you have is the opposite house and the square houses. So these are the tools that you have in order for you to build this house a lot faster, so you don't experience as much woos and woes as other people may experience that don't know themselves, or don't know the energetic flows that's going on with themselves right now, who may have the same placement. So, you know, for the most part, this is the main theme. The main theme is restructure of personality, restructuring and reevaluating your personal issues. You may formulate a bunch of new personal issues, and then learn how to correlate your personal affairs. You may even be having a personal affair on your relationship, on your partner, because the opposite house to the first house is the 7th house. So you're going to have to learn in so many ways how to kind of restructure and reshape and form your personal affairs with your relationships. It could go deep, because personal affairs doesn't always deal with that. Personal affairs could lead to a person, place, or thing, or a family member also. Long as it step into your personal area in your brain, you personally know these people, places, and things, and they personally know you, it's in your first house. So let's get to your tools that you have in order to build this house a lot faster, so you don't experience a storm come in without no motherfucking house built. And you can just get soaking wet, aka keep stumbling and falling over in this house, experiencing negative situations. Now let's start with the opposite house. It's the 7th house. So, you know, this is already going to be the first off friction, the first back-to-back friction you experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's automatically a tug-of-war match, because with opposites attract, but it also causes friction, and with attract could be the same thing that break apart. So what you need to understand here is the 7th house. What is the 7th house? How you relate to people, places, and things, and your relationships on all sorts. Business, partner, all things that could be on a ship, and y'all can sail in a certain direction. Whether it's in a lost land, off a cliff, or to the promised land of milk and honey and bread. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the circumstance and situation, all ships, business, partner, mate, family, all the ships, all the relationships. So, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, you know, this is where a lot of friction is going to come into play. You may be going through a lot of situations right now where, you know what I'm saying, your personality and your personal issues and affairs can't seem to correlate with your relationship. Can't seem to correlate with how you relate to people, places, and things. So it may be kind of hard for you to be relatable to others. Your personality may not be relatable to others. Other people's personalities may not be relatable to you. You know what I'm saying? So it goes deep, and your relationships is going to be hard to correlate those with your own personal demons, your own personal issues, or your personal affairs, and the people who may need you first, and this, that, and the third. So you see what I'm saying? To make this a give and receive match, other than a tug of war match, sometimes you may have to set aside your personal issues and affairs and your personality for the sake of other people's personalities, and how you relate, and to make yourself more relatable, and to make yourself apply better in your relationships. You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa. Sometimes you may have to set aside your relationships and how you relate to people, places, and things for your personal issues and affairs and personality. But don't go too far down that trail, because that's what's causing the friction in the first place, because that's the house that Saturn is in. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's get to your squares, your learning processes. Now, your squares to the first house, if I'm not mistaken, would be the 4th and the 10th house. You know what I'm saying? So with the 4th and the 10th house, these are your squares. So squares represent the learning processes. So, you know, the learning and the opposition is always the positive attributes when we talk about the houses. And then they're the negative attributes when we talk about the natural planet alignments. And then vice versa. The sextile and trines is something you always have access to when it comes to the houses. So, you know what I'm saying? You can find yourself procrastinating on those. So that's why that's looked at as negative when it comes to the houses. And the houses represent your areas of life, and in life you're here to learn. So, you know, what's better to learn and overcome obstacles, aka the squares and oppositions. See what I'm saying? So when we want to talk about the first square, let's start with the 4th house. You know what I'm saying? Now you need to, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to have to learn how to apply your home, private, family, domestic issues, or how to gain emotional stability amongst yourself to your first house. Your personality, personal issues, or affairs. Excuse me, sorry about that. So you may be experiencing a lot of circumstances and situations right now where you're being stubborn to the fact of you don't want to align or allow certain family members to know about certain personal issues you're going through right now, certain personal affairs or certain personality flaws, or you may not want to express certain personnel or certain personal things to home or to a family or to a private issue or things of that. You're not considering or taking a private issue personally or some way, or it may be a domestic issue that you don't want to personally take care of, or it may be, or a domestic issue may be coming about through your personal affairs, people, places, and things that's in your personal life. You see what I'm saying? So you may be stubborn to the fact that you're supposed to align these two things. I said things is, but create words every day, goddamn. But to correlate these two things, you may be going through a lot of these circumstances and situations. What the fuck went in my alright, pardon me, goodness gracious. Now, it may be something in these two houses that's causing friction. So you need to learn how to see what that is. You know what I'm saying? So you need to learn how to apply more of your privacy, more of your home, more of your family to your personal issues. You never know. Your family member may feel the same way you feel. Or it may be a circumstance or situation that if you just let them know your personal issue, things could have got taken care of. Or it may be working out and vice versa. It may be a situation where someone a family member may have a personal issue, but since you're not expressing yourself personally in this area of life within the home, a person don't know what's going on, so it's hard to relate in certain ways, shapes, and forms. So you're just here to learn how to apply more of these houses, and you're going to see in some way, shape, or form how this help build your house faster, and how you won't have to experience any rain, storm, or things coming down for the and you not having a fucking roof, so you just getting hit with all kind of hail pieces and sleet and rain and shit. See what I'm saying? So learn how to apply something that's going on within the home, personal issues, personal affairs, you know what I'm saying, but your privacy, how you gain emotional stability amongst yourself, family, you know what I'm saying, privacy. Learn how to apply these things to the personal life, to the personal issues, the personal affairs in some way, shape, or form. Now the other square is going to be the 10th house. So, now Saturn is going to love to learn this, because this is going to give Saturn a real sense of home. So in some way, shape, or form, you're going to have to learn how to apply what you're known for, how you're seen, and your status or your career to your personal life in some way, shape, or form, your personal issues or affairs. You may be stubborn to the fact right now that you may be going through a lot of personal things that's separating you from your career, or separating you from how you're seen or what you're known for, or something's going on in your personal life that's affecting how you're seen and what you're known for and your status, and it's preventing you from building a career or things of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying, you need to maybe understand in certain ways, shape, and forms that you need to learn how to apply what you're known for and your status and your career to your personal life in some way, shape, or form, to your personality, personal issues, and affairs, so they can accumulate and correlate with each other to the point that it's on the surface now, and things don't have to be hidden, or things don't have to be personally this way and then negatively that way and put out in the world in that way, and then you want to personally separate yourself from it, and you know what I'm saying, you don't have to get into all that based upon, you know, what's being broadcast from your personality, personal issues, and affairs. Because that's what the 10th house represents. Broadcasting what you're known for, how you're seen. And you need to learn how to broadcast your personality, personal issues, and affairs in some way, shape, or form. You need to learn how to be known for these things, be seen for the things, and make these things part of your status, other than getting lost and not knowing what's going on and just being stubborn to the fact that you need to blend these two houses together and learn how to do it. Because the more you're not knowing what's going on and you didn't know that this was in your house, you're going to be playing out naturally of naiveness. So you're going to be going around personally having personal issues and personal affairs, but not applying them to what you're known for, how you're seen, and your status. So it may be something that you're personally into that you never broadcast that can make you rich. See what I'm saying? It may be something that you're into personally, or it may be something that one of your personal affairs are into, that if you was just to broadcast it or become known for it or be seen for it, both of y'all or you could develop a career off of it. See, but you wouldn't know that if you don't know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So this is another process right here that you have to learn. This is another square. Learn how to apply the 10th house energies to the first house. And this is another tool that you can use in order to build your first house a lot faster after it gets torn down when Saturn comes here. And that's Saturn going into Capricorn for my Capricorn ascendants. But for the most part, you got the power. Your personality, your personality, your personal issues, your personal affairs is in a way, shape, or form that everybody else's personality should be correlated in. It's in a way, shape, or form that your personality could be an example for others. You can lead people by examples. You are a natural leader based upon your personality. So regardless of what your sun or your moon is, the more you tap into your personality or handle your personal affairs or deal with your personal issues, anytime you step into that area of life, you can be seen as a leader and a person who obtained a lot of wisdom and knowledge and can benefit others with that. And just by being around you, looking at your actions right now. So you know what I'm saying? Use your power for benefit. Remember, what comes great power comes great responsibility. Now, learn how to not be too power and controlling over yourself and others, because you know better. But also, learn how to not be too passive and know when lines are being crossed, because you still know better. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.